Okay, I don't have a lot of time. I don't mean to rush through this, but I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as I can. I have to leave soon, and I'd like to get this posted before I go, but I want to do it while it's fresh in my mind as it's coming, rather than having to repeat it. I am putting it in, I am capturing it here while it's happening, while I'm receiving the information. Because everything is in everything else, and I have been contemplating the fact that about we're in this duality, when in reality, duality don't exist. It don't exist. Everything is one. It's all one. We just aren't able to perceive it as one. There's one source, not two. The darkness is simply a reflection. Within yin is yang, and within yang is yin. That symbol is one. It's not two. It's not a divided symbol. It's one symbol. It's one meaning. It's wholeness within itself. So I was thinking about that with the fact that Saturn is one. Saturn rules heaven and earth, Aquarius and Capricorn. The rest are all divided. The rest are in duality. But Saturn is one. Saturn is time. Saturn is time. Time is one. That's why it's now. That's why yesterday's gone, tomorrow never comes, and today is a gift. We call it the present. Now, everything is in everything else. That's how we know the truth of a thing, or the witness of a thing, is because it doesn't matter what we look at. It's all a copy of everything else. Unfortunately, what we strive against is the fact that we see a reflection of the copy, an inverted, perverted, subverted, converted. So, the human eye, everything is supposed to be in here. This is the real apple of knowledge. This word, the symbolism, everything about it. The human eye is an organ which reacts to light and pressure as a sense organ. It's one of the five senses. Actually, there are six. I think seven. One we call unknown. The mammalian eye allows vision. The word vision, the B and the V are interchangeable. In the old Roman, that would have been a U. The original name for Jupiter, it was spelt UI. But we have bi-sion. It's a bi. It means two. Vi means two. It means two. We have two eyes. And then you have the scion. There's that enigmatic word that everybody is fixing to blow up the world over. It's spelt S-I-O-N, but we say vision. J. It's almost like a J built in there. A J. It's like you slam the J and the S together and you get this Z. Okay? You slam the S and the J, the J. Vision. Some say shun, but it's J. And it's all done with the front of the mouth. That'll make sense to you if you've been through the linguistics thing with me on how the tongue makes, or the human mouth can only make 72 sounds. And it's the tongue. It's in the spell. You cast the spell with your tongue. The human eyes to provide a three-dimensional moving image, normally colored in daylight. You know, when I came into the body and I first opened the eyes, when I first opened the eyes in the body and saw, it was like I was behind a mask. I remember the first time I had put on a Halloween mask, and it actually terrified me. I couldn't even go trick-or-treating because of the effect it had on me, and all of those memories came flooding into my now moment, and I was experiencing it all over again of putting on the body, because that's how it felt. It felt like a mask. I actually had to squeeze into it. I had to push forward into the body so that the eyes, I didn't see the darkness behind the eyes, because that's what it was. When I first opened my eyes, it was like I was in a Halloween mask, and you could see the darkness of the mask, and then just the shapes of the eyes, and that's how it was coming into this body. So it was creepy, to say the least. Now about the eye, because we have this eyeball earth thing going on I've been talking about, and everything is in everything else, and all is one, God is one. I believe it's the third eye, and that we live under the dome, on flat earth in the iris. We have the lens. We have the lens, like the moon to me is a lens, right? You have the light that shines in the eye, but the sun, but the moon is like the lens of the heavens. We have the dome. We live on flat earth. The pupil is the North Pole. It's the entrance to hollow earth. The true South Pole is not here. It's all the way back over here. It's not even under the dome. It's behind the dome. It's the root. It's the optic nerve and the retina. And it's the way the eye works, that as above, so below. But everything comes to us upside down. It's mirrored and it shifts. The left eye is ruled by the right part of the brain, and the right eye is ruled by the left part. Your whole body is that way. The left part of your body is ruled by the right brain, and the right part of your body is ruled by the left brain. There's a big X that goes on, and X marks the spot. It's the crossover. It's the crossing. It's the crossing. Now, this relates directly to how the third eye would work, okay? But in the third eye, the image is coming from inside the cerebral cortex, the Kundalini rising, all right? You get the Kundalini rising. So it's coming backwards. It's coming from this way to hit the lens. It's reversed, and it hits the lens. So what we're seeing in the heavens is being projected from what we would call the South Pole, but it shoots up through what we would call hollow earth and out. The projection is coming from below, just like in a movie theater. It all is one. There's nothing outside. It's all coming from within. Just like it's all in our mind, it's all in our head. It's all coming from within. The source is within, and it projects outwardly. It's reflecting. It's reflecting off the heavens. That's why we're told the zodiac's in our head. It's above our head because it's being projected from within. So this is another witness to me that the sun is the masculine eye. That's why we enter into the body through the right eye, and we land in her left-hand side of the brain. And the left eye is the moon, but it just reflects, and it reflects the light that's shooting up, that's being projected. Like being at the movie theater, the camera shoots up onto the screen. In the theater that you walk into, that one, the camera is above and is projecting down onto the screen or at an angle. But the old theaters, the original ones, you project up. You project the light up, and we're just, the screen is the heavens. It's being projected up there. That's what we're seeing. The projection up there is coming from within. And this is source. That's why we call it earth. Number one in the word earth is the ear. It also has the symbol of time or Saturn. It's the heart. It's the heart of the matter. I keep telling you, you have to hear with your eyes. You have to hear. You have to be able to look at the image, and the image must speak to you. You must know the language of images, so that when you see the image, it's telling you a story. It's the heart of the matter. The thalamus is located with the heart, and it's connected to the hypothalamus, which activates the pineal gland. So you have three: the thalamus, the hypothalamus, and the pineal. It's a trinity. It's the trinity of the spirit. It's called pneumatic. You know, there's a lot of theories going around about five, right? One group wants to add something they call ether. They say it like earth, water, air, fire, and spirit, or earth, water, air, fire, and ether. They want to add ether and spirit when they don't realize that pneumatic, wind, and spirit, that they're the same. They're one. That's the same thing. You're dividing it. You're trying to bring it into duality. You're only wanting to see part of it. Flat Earth, you only want to see part of it. Globe Earth, you only want to see part of it. But it's pneumatic, P-N-E-U. We've been through this UK, this PK thing, and this EU thing as well. But it's new. It's a pneumatic. It's a new magic. Magic. Mag, meaning really, we think of magnet, right? We're a magnet. When we think of magnet, we think that it attracts, right? It's a force that attracts, but it's also a force that repels, okay? Depending on it, opposites repel in magnets, but like attracts, but it's the net. But mag itself is a word. We get majesty. It means most high. It's a cardinal word. And so magic, I'm going to spell it right because the K is correct. There's no frickin' C. And ik means I. Me, I, my. Ik ben. Dutch, I am. Ik ben. So ik is, again, the I. It's the majestic I. Magic is the majestic I. It's all in our minds. The earth is one. Saturn is one. He rules the circle. He's in the crown chakra. It's time. It's about time. It's the heart of the matter. Everything's connected to everything else. So your thalamus, one is the Father, one is the Son, and one is the Holy Spirit. The thalamus, the hypothalamus, the pineal gland. And that's what activates it. And like when I opened my third eye, I am aware what happened, projected from in my own mind. Nobody could see it but me. I was projecting it onto my own screen from within. It all came from within. And you open up this whole new dimension, this whole new world that begins to project on this reality right in front of you, laid right on top of this one. I was in two worlds. I was in that world and I was in this world. I was in the physical reality and I was in the spiritual reality. It's like my Jupiter and my Saturn eclipsed. And that happens every 20 years. Just like the sun and the moon. To me, they are one. Because all of this is just one thing. It just depends on our perspective and how we choose to look at it. the eye and the cross. I am the eye and the cross. That's probably going to be the new motto. We started with the Aleph and the Tau from the ancient script, and then it moved to the Alpha and the Omega, the A and the O. First, the Aleph and the Tau. We've been through this, but for my new subs who haven't seen it, the Aleph and the Tau. The Aleph, which is the first letter, they call it the ox plow, but it's a symbol for air. It's a symbol of Aquarius. And then, of course, the Tau is the cross. So I'm air and I'm the cross. I'm the air cross. That's telling you I'm the fixed cross. You put these together, I'm the fixed cross. That's in the ancient script. And in the Greek, which what we're given, it's the alpha, or the air sign, and the whole circle. And again, another symbol for Saturn. Both of these are symbols for Saturn, for the fixed cross. It's the same thing as I'm time. I'm the keeper of time. And after Christ sits on the throne, then comes the Ancient of Days, the pineal gland, because Aquarius and Capricorn are one. Flat Earth and round Earth are one. The dome, the projection is coming from within. We're thinking outside of ourselves. It's time to think inside. We have our own box. We need to go in our box. They're giving us a substitute box. Everything they give us is a substitution. There is no real. There is no real. The only real is our consciousness. The rest is artificial. It's temporary. That's why they call it a temp-L. It's a temporary God. The temples are a temporary God. You have two temples. They're on either side of your eyes. That's why he tells you, when I'm with you in the kingdom, there is no temple. You don't have a third temple for your third eye. There is no temple, because he's with you then. You are one then. Does any of this make sense to any of you? Think about it. Share your thoughts. I appreciate your feedback. I have an intelligent, open-minded group looking for answers like I am. And it helps so many of you, these little comments, because I say things that trigger truth in you. Like, yes, when you're wearing your crown and you fall into fear, it's done. You're done. To put your crown back on, you have to get rid of the fear. That's why in all the messages, when the angel comes, he tells you, do not fear. Fear kills it. That's why I detest fear porn. I believe any knowledge can be presented in a way that it doesn't induce adrenaline and fear in people. Be the kindness.